You ever walk into a spider web and you turn into like a friggin' ninja or whatever? Don't be that guy. Martial arts, self-defense, defensive tactics, you gotta be ambidextrous. Hands protect your head, elbows protect your body. Boxers high block. Just open and slap. Open and slap. 1, 2. 1, 2. We swat down. Swat down. 1, 2. 1, 2. What's up, warriors? This is Kyoshi Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training. Here to share with you some warrior skills and drills that anyone can learn and everyone should know. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. If you're already following us on social media and that's how you found your way over to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification button, and YouTube will let you know when the next video drops so you can get all sorts of cool content from here as well. You ever been watching a boxing match or a UFC fight or some sort of MMA competition or something, and the last thing you hear the referee say to them before they go back to their corner and come out fighting is, protect yourself at all times? Have you ever found yourself in a fight? How do you protect yourself? Is protecting yourself and defending yourself the same thing? Or are they two things that you kind of got to do at the same time? This video, we're going to talk about how to protect yourself in a fight and how it's different from defending yourself. Part of, but different from. I'm a huge advocate of the best defense is a good offense. But if you're not sure how to attack or how to strike or how to grab somebody and fling them around and toss them and slam them and thrash them and all that good stuff, and the fight comes to you, the best way for you to defend yourself sometimes is with the most basic instinctual stuff that your body's going to kind of want to do anyway. Even if you know some stuff, even if you know some techniques, even if you have some training, when it's real and it's scary, a lot of the stuff that you think you would do in a fight goes right out the window. You forget that stuff. You don't even realize you forgot that stuff until it's like, and the stuff that you will resort to, whether you mean to or not, your body and your mind and the way it all comes together goes back to this very basic, not basic, intermediate, advanced, but basic, primal, instinctual. What is your body going to do when it's under attack? How are you going to protect yourself? And that's what we're going to go over today. Remember that this is part of our Self-Defense 101 series. I want this to be for the lowest common denominator so that anybody, anywhere, regardless of their skill level, fitness level, any of that stuff, could come in, watch this, and get something out of it. Think of this as crash course self-defense. And the way we're going to teach it, the way we're going to do it, the way we're going to address it is really like a lot of the ways that your body would or most people would naturally react to certain threats, certain attacks. Like you trip and fall, your hands go out, right? If I want to punch you in the face, for a lot of people, they're going to flinch a little bit and bring their hands up. How do we use that natural instinctual reaction to be part of the defense that you're going to use to protect yourself at all times, to protect yourself in a fight? Hopefully by now you already watched our video on how to avoid a fight and our video on in a fight, do this first, which is really just about stances that you would use or most common when defending yourself from your feet and some basic ways to get your guard up. If you haven't already checked those out, give them a watch. There's some really good information in there, and it would definitely help you set the framework for some of the stuff we're going to do today. This is real basic stuff. It's easy to learn, challenging to master, but easy to learn and pretty easy to put into use right away. In our last video, we talked about a handful of stances, and the one that is our most common go-to is our fighting stance. But basically, your fighting stance is going to be if you were going to wind up and punch somebody in the face, how would you stand? You're going to step back. If you're a righty, you'll always step back with your right foot. Lefty steps back with their left foot. You draw your dominant side away, similar to any other athletic activity where if you're going to throw a ball, you put your non-dominant side forward, you get ready for your swing. You're going to swing a baseball bat, you put your non-dominant side forward, you get ready for your swing. So when it comes to self-defense, you're going to put your dominant side back, non-dominant side forward. If you could imagine there being a plus sign on the floor, your feet shouldn't be on either of the lines. So you shouldn't be like skateboard, snowboard, and you shouldn't be as if you're sitting on top of a horse. But your feet go into the quadrants. So you have your legs in the front, but a little off to the side. Your other legs in the back, but a little off to the side. Legs a little bit bent, so you have some spring in your step. You have your chin down to protect your throat. You curl your fingers as tight as you can. Thumbs on the outside. Your hands protect your head. Elbows protect your body. Eyes forward. Ears open. And some little bit of motion to your step, ready to blitz forward, shoot back, pick a side, duck, slip, all stuff that we'll cover in later videos. From your fighting stance, we're going to go over basically how do you keep your guard And how could you, like, using your guard and moving it minimally, be able to block and protect yourself from incoming attacks, whether it's a punch, a kick, a shove, or somebody swinging something at you. In the style of martial arts that I learn, train, study, and teach, we use a few different kinds of guard. But the first one you learn, the first one I teach, the one that you probably use most frequently or most commonly is it's very similar to a boxing guard or a kickboxing guard, where if you could imagine, like, with your arms putting up a fence or a cage that you use to protect as much of your head and as much of your body at all times as possible. So again, you have your curl your fingers tight as you can, thumb on the outside, hands protect your head, elbows protect your body, and I always try to, like, look at my opponent between my fists. If you put them too much on the side of your eyes, you get like that tunnel vision, like a horse in the city with the blinders on. So I keep them a little bit below my eyes so that I still have my peripheral vision. So when you get your guard up, tight fist, strong wrist, hands up, elbows in, fists just below your eyes, just wider than your eyes. So any attack coming straight through, if you had to, like, attack is coming, you could lift your guard. If attack is coming low, you could lower your guard. You could always just basically twist your guard. You could close your guard. Having your hands up, your elbows in is kind of like you're ready, like, for the attack, and ready for them to attack you. And as you get better, you're ready to really attack them. In self-defense, in combat sports, we refer to levels all the time, like referring to, like, you know, an attack coming to or at somebody's head, their chest, their midsection, their legs. So sometimes we do what's called a four-corner blocking system, where you're kind of protecting your head, your upper torso, lower torso, and then your legs. There's another thing called the three-point blocking system, which, again, you're working your high block, your middle block, and your low block, and all these other things, which we'll get to in later videos. But the idea is the same, and again, for somebody brand new, you still want to be able to cover and protect those zones, right? You want to kind of, an attack coming at your head, what do I do? My body, what do I do? At my legs, what do I do? Again, if we could work those things off of your guard with as little movement or motion of your arms as possible, it's very easy to instinctually want to, like, swat away somebody that's trying to punch you, push you, shove you, whatever. But once your hand starts straying away from your guard, you leave a lot of holes in the fence, holes in the gate, where, you know, another attack could come in and put you in a really bad spot. The last thing you want to do is, you ever walk into a spider web and you turn into like a friggin' ninja or whatever? Don't be that guy. Or a swarm of bees and you're just swatting every which way? Don't be that guy. So I'll show you a couple things. They're pretty simple. And if you got questions, always put them in the comment section below. I check them all. You know, I like when I hear from you guys, okay? All right, the first way we're going to kind of cover ourselves and just practice shifting our guard or that fence or that cage up and down and around. Most of the world is right-handed. Most of the world does not know how to punch correctly. And most of the world is going to try to punch you in the head. So that overhand right, that 45-degree angle, that, like, this flight path of their right hand coming at me. So, like, if I went to swing at you, you'd want to take your left hand and put it up so that you could protect that angle, right? Now, without letting your arm stray away from your center or your guard, real simple is like, oh my God, think of like that fetal position when you curl up in a ball, but from a standing position, okay? So real simple is you have your hands up, your elbows in, and all of a sudden that starts coming, you're like, oh no, and you just brace for impact. And just like I have my hands up and my elbows in, and I'm using the side of my arm to protect the side of my body on each side, there are ways to elevate that. So you take that wall, that shield on the side, and just bring it up. If the attack was coming low, like a body shot, drop it down. If something was coming between your arms, kind of twist. And again, without really moving your arms away from your head, you're still protecting as much of yourself as possible. You're just adjusting where you have that shield, where you have that fence, where you have those walls. Make sense? Still keeping it simple, but taking it a step further. We're going to cover like a boxer's high block. At least that's what I call it. Again, if you have a different name or something like that, let me know. I always like hearing how different styles and arts, what they call different techniques. But I teach it as a boxer's high block. So again, you got your stance, you got your guard. I teach it like, you ever have a t-shirt where the tag is itching you and you kind of bring your hand up like this? So I've also heard it taught where, like, imagine just brushing your hair back, right? So you have your hands up, your elbows in, and along comes that overhand right coming at your head, and you just, again, either reach for your label, make like you're brushing your hair. What's really important is that you keep that arm folded, use the outside part of your arm to shield the side of your head. Got that? So hands up, elbows in, and cover. Ideally, you're going to bring this up, keeping your elbow pointed at their nose, so you're kind of really protecting that whole quadrant. As you get better, you're going to like kind of jam them, slide in, and crack them in the face with your elbow as you do it. That's lots of fun. All right, so here we go. Hands up, elbows in. Bring up your front hand. If you got your left side forward, bring like you're looking for that label, like it's itching your back, and you're just going to bring your hand up and look for that spot. Same thing with the rear hand. So if it was a lead side coming at you, rear hand slides up, look for that spot. I keep my eyes forward. I point my elbow at my opponent's nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale as you do it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Boxer side block. A lot of times, just like if somebody went to hit you and it's very natural to want to swat that attack away, slap it away, hit it away, like sometimes that is the instinct. Not to cover up, but to like, hey, leave me alone, get off of me, stop, hey, cut it out. From your stance, from your guard, it's called a parry, P-A-R-R-Y, parry. And there's a lot of different ways to do it and a lot of different levels of doing it depending on your level of experience and expertise. But real simple is just imagine like clapping, right? But you're going to clap with, you're basically going to clap with one hand at a time. So hands are up, elbows in. A strike coming through the center, it's not far away because however far your hand moves to block, you got to bring it back. So a parry is not designed to like hard block and break or smash the attack that's coming at you. It's designed to like pretty much tap it and redirect it. So if I was punching you and you tap my arm, you just need to deflect it so that it passes you and doesn't hit you. Or if it does hit you, that's going to graze you instead of like really impacting you. So a parry looks like this. You got your stance, you got your guard, your hands are up, your elbows are in. We'll start with the lead side. You're going to open, slap it away, short slap. Like basically I go from one side of my face to the other and back. One side of my face to the other and back. And when one hand is moving, the other one is guard up. All right? So using your front hand, just open, push away, keep your eyes forward. Hands up, elbows in, some legs bent, so a little bit of motion, like ready, again, to forward, back, side to side, always ready to move. So from here, using your front hand first, 1, rear hand, 2, front hand, 3, rear hand, 4, 5, 6, and breathe out, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, like you're clapping, but only one hand at a time. So parries are designed to cover like the upper half of your torso, but primarily your face. So circular attacks like, the hook punches, the haymakers, those wild swinging like I'm going to kill you, that type of swing coming at your head, you're going to use these, right? Something that's coming straight down the barrel, straight at your face if you can, you're going to pick it off with this simple, like your hands are up, your elbows in, your guard is up, you're ready, and you're just going to kind of like, oh man, tapping them to redirect them so they don't hit you. If it's a linear attack, like a straight attack coming at, let's say like your midsection, from here, all you need to do, I drop my elbow across my body. Now, to keep this very simple, you could just keep a strong guard. Again, you're using that shield to protect you, but if it's coming through the inside of the shield, like inside of the A, like this, you twist. So again, I'm not trying to destroy the attack that's coming. That's fun stuff later on. For now, like, oh man, just twist. And again, use the side of your arm, the inside part of your shield to deflect. Again, you don't have to hurt the attack. You need to redirect the attack. So deflect it, again, just so it passes you or grazes you. So real simple from here. Hands up, elbows in. Again, my hands are just a little bit lower than my eyeballs so I can see side to side. Elbows in to protect my body. On the count, all I'm going to do is take my front side, again, eyes forward. I'm going to twist so that I bring my elbow across the front of my body, pretty much to the outside plane of the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Middle block. So the high block covers the outside head level. The parry kind of covers the straight in between my hands, head level. The middle block covers the straight in between the hands, upper part of your torso. But it only blocks as low as your elbow. So an attack that's coming straight in, sometimes around, but an attack between your elbow and your waist or your groin or your, basically your legs, you're going to take your front hand. Again, this is a very instinctual. Oftentimes people that come in with no training and they want to move around a little bit, or I teach a private lesson or something with somebody who's here for self-defense purposes, and I just real slowly throw techniques at them. Part of it is my own research. Like, I'm curious to see how across the board, how universal those instinctual, basic, primal reactions are. And a lot of times people will just try to naturally swat techniques away to like, hey, stop, whether it's a block or trying to hit you to prevent you from hitting them. So for that zone between the elbow and like the upper legs, you basically just drop your hand down and bring it up. Drop your hand, bring it down. So if you can imagine like somebody going to reach into your pocket and you kind of swat their hand away, maybe somebody going to goose you and you swat their hand away, same thing. Hands up, elbows in, you swat down and up. It's a low parry, low parry, low parry. I use the palm of my hand, not your fingers. You don't want to, your fingers are little bones. You don't want to jam those or injure those. But imagine a slap, but with the palm or the heel of your palm. Low parry. So from here, hands up, elbows in, starting with your front side, down and up, rear side, down and up, lead side, down and up, rear side, down and up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Low parry. All right, so we covered the head, the upper torso, the lower torso. Now let's cover the legs. So whether it's a kick, more times than not, it's either going to be some sort of sweeping attack or some sort of like a roundhouse kick or some sort of kick to the leg. As you get better, you learn how to gauge the distance and create more distance so the technique passes you, or to close the distance so that you jam the technique. They can't fully extend it, and it kind of takes the power away from their move. But in the very beginning, more times than not, you stand there with your guard, you see like they're going to hit you in the leg, and again, instinctually, a lot of people like kind of draw themselves back and bring their leg up to kind of leg block. So when I was in Thailand for Muay Thai, man, these guys, they block with their shin, and it's pretty badass. But until you try to block one of their shins with your shin, and man, that's some uncomfortable stuff. A way to kind of like adjust that for a layman, for a new student, for a beginner, I'll turn my foot in. So again, I'm blocking with the outside part of my shin, but instead of blocking with the shin bone, I turn my leg and I try to block more with the muscle part of it. So we do what's called a leg block. Get your stance to cover that below the lower torso part. From here, again, if you have your feet in that kind of like 50-50 stance, where we're not being like super aggressive and we're not like being, chicken coward back type of thing. From here, just lift your knee. Real simple thing about bringing your knee to your elbow, okay? So hands up, elbows in. Again, make sure you exhale as you do it, but keep your guard the best you can. You're going to start with your front leg to your front elbow, rear leg, rear elbow. Front leg, front elbow, rear leg, rear elbow. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have a little bit more experience and you start, whether it's training with a partner or a coach or an instructor, you'll start to learn that there's a lot of little subtleties that you do as you do each of these moves. Remember, for most basic entry level, self-defense 101, keep it simple. All right, quick review. So we have our stance. We're going to draw our dominant side back. Side note, you should be practicing all these things righty and lefty with either leg forward. Hey man, you go and crack one dude, you turn and run away, and all of a sudden his buddy is there. You can't say, hold on dude, I only know how to do this with my left or whatever side forward. You got to be ready to rock and roll from either side. Martial arts, self-defense, defensive tactics, you got to be ambidextrous. You have to be. Back to the review. All right, so our fighting stance. We're going to get our non-dominant side forward, our dominant side back. We curl our fingers as tight as we can, thumbs on the outside, hands protect your head, elbows protect your body. We got some bend in our knees, so we're light on our feet, ready to shift forward, ready to shift back, to pick a side, to duck, to jump, to slip, move however we need to. From this position, first things first, I can raise my guard to protect my head against like those wild head attacks. I can lower my guard to protect against those wild body shots, those circular swinging like eyes closed, just flailing type of attacks. Raise it, lower as you need to. The next one was our boxer's high block. So that like haymaker to the head. We're looking for the label on our shirt. We're brushing our hair back, kind of bringing that arm up and using the outside of the arm to protect the side of the head, pointing our elbow at the enemy, at our opponent's nose, right? Boxer's high block. Next, we had that parry for the linear attacks. We're going to kind of try to sneak in between our hands. Just open and slap. Open and slap. Not too far. Don't let it stray too far away from your guard. Open, past your face, bring it back quick. Parries are really quick, short, snappy motions. The next one was any sort of linear attack that's going to kind of come through in that top half of our torso. So from here, keeping the guard, elbows in, we're just going to twist the body and let the side of the forearm hit it to deflect it so it passes by. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And again, I can see where I'm going, and I have my hands just lower than my eyes, so I got good peripheral vision for good 360-degree awareness. The next one was the low parry. For those attacks that are going to come between the elbow and the legs, we swat down, swat down, swat down, swing it down and up real quick. The next one is the leg block. Any sort of kick coming at your legs. Again, more times than not, somebody goes to kick you in the leg. If you're not going, oh my God, and letting them just kick you, instinctually, you're probably going to bring your leg up a little bit. Try to bring your knee to your elbow and exhale as you do it. Keep your body relaxed. 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, I'm trying to do it with my hands up, my elbows in, with that prepare to engage mentality. Get ready to fight. So if you've made it this far and you like what I'm teaching and preaching, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and like this video. If you're loving it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you gotta have it, go ahead and hit that bell notification button, and YouTube will let you know when the next video drops. If you're really digging it, you can find us on all social media platforms at 5 Elements Tactical. Well, that's all I got for now, Warriors. So until our paths cross again, pray for the best, prepare for the rest. I'm Kyoshi Dave Herman with 5 Elements Tactical Training. Thanks for watching.